What grade are you going in?
8th grade.
Ooh. You got any product in your hair?
Yes.
Do you think I have any in my hair? I bet you guys have never heard where I'm from. I bet you guys have never heard of my hometown. I bet you have never heard of my hometown.
Where's your hometown?
Thank you for playing, finally. I'm used to third graders in a gym. I'm used to third graders in a gymnasium. I am from Greenville, Alabama. You've never heard of that? You've never heard of that. If you ever go to Gulf Shores, you have to go through Greenville, all right? I never thought I'd live to be 18. Speaking of history, this is a historical museum. Never thought I'd live to be 18. This is history. When I went, this is how old I am. I am old as dirt. I started school before everybody in this room was born. I went to, and listen, I didn't even go to kindergarten. This is how old I am. You didn't go to kindergarten. You just started first grade. I started first grade in the fall of 1962, way before you were born, all right? And why are y'all laughing back there? We got a ruckus going on back here. I never thought I'd live to be 18. Within 1 month of me starting school for the first time ever, little boy, scared to death, starting school, guess what they were teaching us what to do? They were teaching us how to get under our little wooden desks if nuclear missiles were coming in. You think times are weird now. You should have lived in the 1960s. There was something who's a historian in here? What global event occurred in October 1962? The Cuban Missile Crisis. The Soviet Union had nuclear missiles on the island of Cuba aimed at the southeast United States. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, and me and my friends in the first grade, we were thinking, what good is this going to do? Get under a little wooden desk when a nuclear warhead is coming in? No, we all made an agreement. All me and my buddies in first grade, we were going to go out there on the playground and watch the end of the world with a front row seat. We were going to melt down like men. And then soon after that, the high school boys started going to some place called Vietnam. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it meant. We just knew some of those boys weren't coming back. So I had the nukes, I had the Vietnam, and then I had a horrible situation in the woods of South Butler County involving a triple dog dare.
Oh, no.
This is bad. Guys, all you men in here, don't go down this path. Do not go down this path. My friends in the woods of South Butler County, Alabama, near Chapman, triple dog dared me to go to the bathroom on an electric fence. I was literally convulsing while my friends were laughing and pointing at me. So between the nukes, the Vietnam, and the electric fence, it is a miracle I'm here. So this is me when I was in high school. That's a bad look. That's a really bad look. I mean, that's bad. And let me just say that as an older child, me and my mom had to move. I'm from Greenville. My people, if you want to know about me, stop in Greenville. Those are my people. That's where I'm from. But we had to move. My father one night just walked out, and he never came back. To me, to that man, me and my mom were worth nothing. He didn't pay a cent of child support. We were broke. And she tried to hang on. She knew that I loved Greenville. My world, my friends were in Greenville, Alabama. But we had to move to this nasty-sounding place called Tuscaloosa. Y'all ever heard of that? By the way, I finished at Mississippi State. Everybody hates me, okay? So in high school, I didn't know anybody. I never went to a prom, never went to a homecoming dance. I didn't do any of that stuff. I worked. In fact, can y'all keep a secret? Yeah, whoever said no, thanks for your honesty. Honesty is always best. Listen, when you walk out these doors, don't you tell my secret, all right? I'm good at absolutely nothing. I mean, I am good at absolutely nothing. Remember Snowmageddon? And I do other things. For 21 years, I have been the chairman of the board of a major hospital. I don't talk about that much. I'm not the best hospital board administrator guy. By the way, do y'all live around here? Thank you. We built a freestanding emergency department here in 2023. My hospital is Grandview Medical Center. And thank you for your support, and we're honored to serve you. And if we can do anything better, please let us know. In fact, I recommend a lot of people that don't live in Trussville to come to this facility because it's fast, they've got the imaging. If you're not high acuity, if you're not dying, this is a great facility. I mean, obviously, if you got trauma, you have to go to a trauma center, but it's an honor to serve. But listen, I'm not the best hospital volunteer. I do children's ministry at a church. I'm not the best children's ministry guy, but hey, I'll work harder than anybody else in this room, anybody, to accomplish a goal. Because when I was 7, when my father walked out, you know what I had to do? Go to work. They had no child labor laws back then. So I'm good at nothing, but I learned how to work hard. Hard work can overcome weakness. And in high school, we built an illegal radio station in there. And listen, I struggled in high school, but you know what they called me in high school? Retarded. They did. And it was no big deal. That's just the word they used, but I couldn't read well. I'm severely dyslexic. And they really, they just didn't understand. But the math teachers were great. They said, wait a minute, this guy's making all A's, he's brilliant. And the English teacher said he's an idiot. So to this day, nobody knows if I'm an idiot or a genius. I mean, nobody knows. But anyway, we built, I'm like an engineer type guy too, and we built this illegal radio station. They interviewed me on the local TV station, and I got a job working at a radio station, a real one, not the illegal one, but a real one through high school and college. This is how I paid my way through college. I made $1.65 an hour. That's how cheap college was back in the 70s. My first major in college was electrical engineering. Nobody told me weather was an option. Nobody. But I figured it out, and I would change majors and finished in the meteorology program at Mississippi State University. By the way, this is me when I worked at that radio station. How about that hair? Wow. That's disturbing on many different counts there. My first Birmingham appearance on TV doing weather was here. And look at the hair. That's a comb over. There's no hair up there. The hair had already departed ship by the time this was taken. This is September 1979. I replaced a lady named Rosemary Lucas. Nobody in here knows these names anymore but me. But I worked at Channel 13 for 5 years. I was transferred to Dallas in 1984, and that's totally a comb over. I promise, there's no hair here. I spent it, and I think everybody needs to leave home, I guess, for a while, and we spent 2 years there, and it was great. I mean, goodness, this is the glory days of Ron Burgundy and the TV news stuff, and I got a chance to live that, but my wife and I just wanted to come home. Listen, I was born here, I'll die here, I'll be buried here. These are my people. And we didn't know what to do. I just thought I'm in a top 10 market. I'm done with TV, so we bought a radio station. I can do weather anytime I want, my own station, me and 2 friends, in Demopolis, Alabama. But TV called, and I came back to Channel 6. This is in 1989. After 7 years, got an offer to come to the new channel, and they said, you can go on TV anytime you want. And the owner looked me in the eye, and he said, you've got my commitment, you have full control. That's like giving a college football coach full control over an athletic department. And they honored that. They honored that. And so that changed everything. That's when the new way of doing things started. This is in 1996. And then last year, another change. Most folks don't watch Ron Burgundy anymore. Those days have gone away. The traditional legacy TV newscast, we used to have this much audience. Now it's about like that. People are consuming media in a different way. So we built a statewide organization. This is my dream, to take care of the whole state. Tonight, guess what I'm doing tonight? Throwing out the first pitch at the Rocket City Trash Pandas game. I bet you've never been to a Rocket City Trash Pandas game, have you? That is the minor league baseball team that's in Madison, which is a big suburb of Huntsville. I'll be doing functions in Mobile, Dothan. I'll be speaking in schools and places you've never heard of before. I'll be speaking in schools in Waterloo, Pansy. I'll be in Lower Peachtree, Theodore, Leroy, McKenzie, Industry. I know this state better than anybody in this room. I know every Dollar General. I know every barbecue joint. You ought to come with me on a trip. I know gas station food better than anybody in this room. I will show you things that you would not believe. So it's an honor to be able to serve the whole state now in the new world in which we are reaching people where they live. They made me do an audit. Our boss here made me do an audit of the social media followers. And I didn't even know this. Between the different platforms, I'm at 3.2 million, and that's terrifying. You press a glass and you can reach that kind of an audience. But hey, when there are tornadoes flying, that's power. That is absolute raw power. And so we've harnessed that with this new network. And let me just say this. I think I've been here too long when you see this going on. That's disturbing. That is really, really disturbing. I promise I'll have some content here. Gary will never invite me back. So this is March 25th of 2021. Our tornadoes in Alabama are not sexy. They're not like the ones you see in Oklahoma and Kansas. This is south of Birmingham on U.S. Highway 280. That's a rain-wrapped EF3. If you go to Chicago, Milwaukee, Seattle, Boston, ask people where do tornadoes always happen. What do they say? Oklahoma. We have more strong, violent tornadoes per square mile than Oklahoma, and it's not even close. We are the king. Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee. Nobody knows, and I guess that's okay. But anyway, this is an example of probably one of the most distracting days of my career because you see, that tornado hit our house. Let me just say this. Tornadoes happen to real people at a real place at a real time. It's not always somebody else. Everybody out here, I've heard them. I've heard you talk. I live in Trussville. Tornadoes never happen in Trussville. And they'll give me all these reasons. Well, the Cahaba River blocks it. Ever since they built Interstate 459, they don't come through here anymore. And listen, the people that live in this Donovan Valley where I live, they said the same thing. And all that, of course, is nonsense. These are some of my neighbors here. And again, guys, please understand it always is not going to happen to somebody else. And we're very fortunate in this case in that people heard the warning and they responded. We had no loss of life. And this went through a very densely populated part of the Birmingham metro area. We had no loss of life because people heard the warnings, they had a plan, and they knew what to do. What's funny, I don't understand why I got all this attention. This is the weirdest one here. This is some tabloid. What happened to James Spann's house, and who's his wife, Karen? You can't make this stuff up. I mean, anybody would do this. It was really, the fact that it hit a weather guy's house. Well, so what? It's going to happen. It can happen to anybody. This is driving home when I could finally get through. And again, we lived in a pretty densely wooded area, and this is just terrifying. But I look back on what happened in the next day. This massive group of people just showed up to help. Wow. These are heroes. I want you guys to understand we still have some really good people left in the world today. And they brought in heavy equipment. I didn't even know these people, most of them. They got trees off the house. They started to restore order. And I'll never forget the kindness showed by these men and women that showed up that day. So I just want you all to understand there's still some good people left in the world today. A lot of people don't believe that, but there are. But this is my heart and passion. This is what I do. I want to go back and look at Alabama history on April 27, 2011. Were you here on that day? Really quickly, I just want to share some things we've learned about that day. This is 15 years ago. We had 62 tornadoes in one day, and this is not unprecedented in the national media. This has never happened before. It's crazy. That's not true. Well, I'm telling you, it really bothers me, and I shouldn't say this in public, but they get a lot of stuff about weather dead wrong. And if they're getting stuff wrong, I understand. What are they getting wrong that I don't understand? It's really not good. We had a day like this this is when I was in high school, April 3rd, 1974, the great super outbreak of tornadoes. A little town called Guin. Y'all ever been to Guin? We got to get you all out some more. Trust me, we ought to take a tour of this state. Guin is a town in Marion County, and I volunteered for 3 days. They gave me 3 days off. My hobby's ham radio. In 1974, guess what we did not have? You couldn't get on the talk, the tweeter, the gram. You couldn't do anything. I mean, there were no phones. I got a ham radio license when I was 14, and they desperately needed us, and so I volunteered for 3 days, and what I saw those 3 days changed my life. In fact, I saw some things that first night that a 17-year-old boy shouldn't see. I had night terrors, but that was April 3rd, 1974. We had a date like this March 21st, 1932. And I was not doing weather back then. We had a day like this on the 18th of February, 1884. This happens about once every 40 years. The next time we have a day like this, I'll be at Elmwood, okay? But all it takes is how many? One. If it comes down your street, that's your April 27th. Ours is March 25th. But we had 62 tornadoes on that day, and this number is inexcusable. Inexcusable for anybody in this room. Everybody should not accept that. That's going to haunt me until the day I die. 252 people died. I'm a numbers guy. Again, I can't read well, but man, I do numbers really good. And that's the only number that matters to me. 252. Some were infants, some were old people. Some people lived in the city, some people lived in the country. Some people were rich, some people were poor. It affected every race, every ethnicity. We have to be better. We had the 2 rounds of storms, and listen, the warnings were great. In some cases, you had 45 minutes to go to a safe place should all these people died. In some cases, we had lead times of 40, 45 minutes. This is a map of all of them on that day. We had 3 5s. 2 of them were parallel here in Marion County. Number 38 hit Hackleburg and Phil Campbell. That was the most violent tornado of the day in our state. Number 50 was up here around Lookout Mountain. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait. I hear this all the time. I live in a valley. Tornadoes never happen because of that mountain here and that mountain here. They always split and they always go. That's all nonsense. What's the elevation of Lookout Mountain in DeKalb County? Anybody know? It's about, in DeKalb County, Lookout Mountain is about 1,800 feet. And it doesn't matter, okay? Let me show you number 37. About 20,000 people live in Cullman. This is graphic violence. I don't watch this. I really don't watch this. This is all on YouTube. You can watch it anytime you want to. But this is live on television. This is the first tornado of the afternoon. The morning round was tough. 5 people died in the morning. But this is the beginning of the afternoon. And I tell the young people, storms will talk to you. They'll tell you a story. And this storm was telling us a story about what's to come. And again, about 20,000 people live in Cullman, and they all survived. The damage was horrible, but it kept on going. Into Marshall County, killed a family of 5 at Ruth, the Hallmark family. This is Tuscaloosa, and again, I moved here when I was going through a hard time. Me and my mom moved to a small apartment about the size of a bathroom, really, about the size of a bathroom. And we had no money, we had no friends, and we had no hope. And there were some wonderful people here that loved us and encouraged us and helped us, and we made it. It wasn't easy. So this is kind of a special place. I don't like to watch this. This is one of our cameras on top of a building. This is on the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. This is from the ground. This is from John Brown and Mike Wilhelm. And let me just say this. Please, please don't do this. We have reason to believe 7 people were killed with a phone trying to shoot tornado video. No, 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 no. You go to a safe place. John, in this case, and they were trained. They know it's moving away from them and they're safe. Wind velocity is about 190 miles per hour. And if you look really carefully, you'll see parts of buildings being lofted. And a lot of this debris stayed in the air and it fell from the sky here. It was terrifying. You had parts of people's lives falling from the sky that day. If you were not here that day, you're blessed. And this is some of the damage. Listen, I could do this for hours. It took us days to fly the damage pass. But you know what, as bad as it looks, you could be in this little section right here and you're fine. You can't stay in that big, expansive industrial space, but every building had a good, safe place. Every house had a safe place. And we just were stunned at the loss of life. And listen, the warnings weren't that hard. These were long-track tornadoes. The radar signatures were clear. In some cases, you could see the tornadoes on the cameras. A 3rd grader could have issued the warnings that day. But we've got to figure out what went wrong. And quite frankly, I didn't talk about this for 6 months. I needed to grieve because the people that died, they're my people. Listen, these are my people, everybody that lives here. And after 6 months, I finally said, all right, let's roll up our sleeves and fix it. And we went to some social scientists. That's Interstate 359, by the way. Went to some social scientists that understand human behavior to help us. And we've really got a better grasp now on how to message things. All I do is numbers and physical science. This is Rosewood Courts here, low-income housing project, had severe loss of life. We did a very poor job of reaching low-income families, and shame on us for that. It's just bad. This is Charleston Square. This is an apartment complex. We had loss of life on the second floor. Why was anybody on the second floor? You can't survive a tornado on the second floor. And again, I could let this go on. I could talk about this for a long time. But let me just say, this is all that matters to me. This is Danielle Down. She was a student at the University of Alabama. She was 2 weeks away from graduating. She was killed April 27, 2011, at 31 Beverly Heights. With a friend, Will Stevens. They went to high school together. The kids wanted to ride out the storm together, and there was a third. This is Lauren Brown. All three of those kids were killed at 31 Beverly Heights. High school friends from Morgan County. And let me just say this. I've memorized almost every single name of the people that died that day. I know their stories, and I wonder what they would be doing now, 15 years later. Will played baseball at Stillman College, not the University of Alabama. Lauren was a student at Shelton State, about to transfer to the University of Alabama. And I'll drive by 31 Beverly Heights a lot. I know Lauren's mom, Ashley Mims. We've become good friends. This is Miss Minnie Ackland. She was killed when her car was lofted on Interstate 359. Why was anybody driving? You can't survive a tornado in a car. We think she never heard the warning. This is Angel Stillwell. She was a sixth grader at Pleasant Valley Elementary. You've probably never been to a little place called Angel, Alabama. It's near Jacksonville. And she lived in Knighton's Crossroads. I bet you've never been there, and you probably don't care, but man, I do. And there's still a memorial at the school for her. Haley and Mikey Kreider, they were students at Concord Elementary over here on the other side of Birmingham. And their mom was killed April 27th as well. Miss Bessie Brewster was a retired nurse. Everybody in Pratt City said she had the best smile in the neighborhood. She was killed April 27th, 2011, as was Jonathan and Justin Doss, two brothers from Cordova. Y'all ever been to Walker County? You know, there were two tornadoes in Cordova, two that day. The boys survived the morning tornado. They did not survive the evening tornado. And, you know, that's the thing. One of the reasons we built this new network, I want to take care of rural parts of Alabama. I am from rural Alabama. Y'all are a bunch of big city slickers in here, all right? I'm from rural Alabama. And they have been underserved for years. All these old school TV stations, live, local, late break. Yeah, they'll be on if there's a tornado in Trussville. But what about when there's a tornado at Knighton's Crossroads? What about when there's a tornado in Industry? We're going to fix that problem. It doesn't matter where you live. We're going to fix that problem. This is Al and Angie Sanders. They live in Shoal Creek Valley. Y'all know where that is. It's between Asheville and Raglan in St. Clair County. That's your neighboring county over here. Their three daughters survived. Al and Angie were taken. Why did it work out that day? We'll find out at another place at another time. This is Carrie Lowe. She was a registered nurse, an RN. She worked in the emergency department at Medical Center East, right down the street, or I guess it's UAB St. Vincent's now. And she left behind two children, including a newborn. And you know what's really sad about Carrie's story? She was killed in Pleasant Grove, by the way. She paid attention. This is her last social media message. Now, this was not April 27th. This was the week before, 1 week before, April 20th. I hate bad weather. Hope someone warns me to go to my safe place if I need to, because the power is out, so I can't watch James Spann. And she lost her life 1 week after that message. This is where she was killed. This is 12th Street in Pleasant Grove. And again, this stuff is hard for me. I don't really like to watch it, but sometimes I need to show it. In a way, it's therapeutic for me, and quite frankly, you need to see it. Because a lot of people in Trussville don't pay attention. Nothing personal, but there's not been a devastating, horrific tornado here in a long, long time. And people have the illusion they never, ever happen here. And they will. And if it takes showing you these images, I'll show you these images. And let me just say that Carrie's kids are doing fine. This is that newborn. This is Carrie's sister-in-law, Crystal Greer. We're good friends. And this is Nathan. He's now a junior at Hayden High School, plays drums in the band. And he's doing okay. Most family members did survive in that house, but for some reason Carrie was taken. I could do this all day. I'll stop with more and more. This is Ashley Harrison. Ashley was 1 week away from graduating at the University of Alabama, an only child just like me. Anybody else an only child in here? Good. We have a few. It worked out for me. It's going to work out for you. It was good. No creepers come in and steal your stuff. It's great, all right? It really is great. She was an only child, and she lost her life April 27th. When they found her, she had a pulse. To this day, there's a memorial where they found her, and they got her to DCH Regional Medical Center, and she was lofted, and she was impaled, and the injuries were horrific, but they were trying to clean her up, to get her into surgery, to save her life, and she died in that process. And the nurse at DCH wanted me to get her in touch with her parents, and I did. She wanted those parents to know how hard that girl fought to live before getting into surgery. Her parents are Dave and Darlene Harrison. They accepted her diploma later in the year. And let me just say this, if you can't see the pain in her eyes, you're not human. You are not human. This is visceral. I can feel it. And we have to stop this. We have to stop this, okay? So what did we learn from this? What did we learn from April 27, 2011? Well, what we do is not enough. I told you all that. We've gone to social scientists, these brilliant men and women that understand human behavior. And they've helped us. And my charge to them initially was, why did these people die? What's the number one reason people? Anybody know? What's the number one reason people died? Number one reason people died April 27th. What do you think it is? I'm used to third graders in the gym. Y'all are... Yeah, that's one. That's in the top 10. That's top 10. Number one was the siren mentality. We got a problem. We've got a huge problem in Alabama. Most people believe in their heart they're going to hear a World War II air raid siren before a tornado strikes their home, which is insanity. So it's 3 in the morning, you're sound asleep, there's a raging storm, and you're going to hear a siren 5 miles away. If you think you're going to hear a siren, you have no hope. I can't help you. This is bad. It's World War I technology is where it started. What year is this? 2026? We're a little past World War I. And we figured it out the next year. January 23rd of 2012. We had a pre-dawn tornado that came through Center Point and Clay, real close to where we are right here. And I don't need to see Christina's face. I can close my eyes and I can see her face. Christina Heichelbeck was a brilliant student, IB program at Shades Valley, brilliant student. Only child, like me. And the tornado came through about 4 a.m. The tornado warning was issued 37 minutes before it hit their home. And she lost her life that morning. The grieving father said the family didn't hear the what? Come on! You know what? Guess what I wanted to do? I was so mad. I was so mad when this happened. Guess what I wanted to do? I wanted to climb these poles, take them down, and burn them. That way you know that you will not hear them because they don't exist. And please understand, I'm not throwing her parents under the bus. Daryl and Carol Heichelbeck, I know them. They want me to tell this story. They would rather be here talking to you with tears streaming down their cheeks, begging you to stop it. The siren mentality killed their daughter. And we've got to stop this. They are a big advocate. They have been the greatest advocates for what we're trying to do. And we just got to stop this. And we're starting to get some good traction. People are finally starting to figure it out. You've got some municipalities that are near bankruptcy trying to keep these sirens up that don't work well. The only thing they do, they reach a limited number of people, not indoors, but outdoors. I sound like a preachy sermon today, don't I? I didn't mean to be so. I'm sorry. I'm just passionate, okay? And I promise I'm almost done. Nobody likes a long, boring talk. But again, we've just got to move past this. I know in my heart that everybody in this room has one of these. God bless you. God bless you, sir. And if you don't, you're going to go get one. Does anybody even know what this is? Weather radio. What percentage of Alabamians have them?
2%.
4 out of 100. Everybody in here has a smoke alarm. Everybody in here has a smoke alarm. Why? It's the law. You have to have one. It's the law. So everybody has a smoke alarm, but only 4% of Alabamians have this, which is basically a smoke alarm for tornadoes, okay? And that's terrifying. It's terrifying. And I know what you're thinking. I can read you like a book. I know what you're thinking. I got my phone. I've got a fancy Pro Max iPhone Samsung PQ87 Triple D Super Duper Deluxe phone here. And it always goes off. And listen, phones are a critical part of the warning process. They are. But guess what stops working during most tornado emergencies? Cell service. And your fancy phone becomes a brick. So this has nothing to do with cell service. It's an independent network. When the tornado hit our house, how do you think my wife got the warning? How do you think my wife got the warning before a tornado hit the house? She's heard enough of me. I'm a bag of hot air. She's going to get it this way. This is it, guys. You need this. Okay. So please consider, and I'm not even supposed to tell you where to buy them because it's a conflict of interest, but you can buy them at Walmart and Publix and places like that. It's not that hard. I mean, every major retailer has these suckers, okay? And concerning your phones, real quick, every phone sold in the United States has wireless emergency alerts built in, okay? This is not an app. This is built into your phone. It's a government function. And in Alabama, that's the loud tone out. You know what I mean? The loud ones. They'll scare you half to death. In Alabama, you're basically going to get 3 tone outs for WIA. Tornado warnings, high-end flash flood warnings, and Amber Alerts. We have learned that many people in Alabama have turned off emergency alerts. You know why? They don't want to get Amber Alerts. Wait a minute. So there's a child missing and you don't want to help? What has happened to society? I don't get it. Guys, please, if you've turned off wireless emergency alerts, please turn them back on. Most phones today at night go into a sleep or do not disturb mode, and you don't get any notifications. It doesn't matter with this. You'll get that. And for all tornado warnings, you're going to get a WIA tone. That's the loud tone out that will wake you up. So please have those turned on. All right, what's the number 2 reason people died? April 27, 2011. I'm sorry? That's top 10. Number 2, it's the lack of helmet use. Again, why do you think I took that hospital volunteer job 21 years ago? I did it for a selfish reason. I wanted to spend time with ER docs to learn how people lose their life in tornadoes. I've spent 21 years with ER and trauma docs, and some really good ones, and they will tell you that this is true. Most people that are hurt badly in tornadoes or lose their life, it's blunt force trauma above the shoulders. I'm putting on a simple bicycle helmet that increases your chance of surviving by over 50%. If you batting helmet, football helmet, motorcycle helmet, something. And this is not just for kids, this is for everybody. Listen, when I put on a bike helmet, it's not a good look. It's like lipstick on a hog. It's not a good look, but it will save my life. And for everybody in this room, in that safe place, you have to have helmets for everybody. And this is not just me blowing hot air. UAB, our marvelous educational research hospital here in the market, they've done some good peer-reviewed research that proves this, okay? It's a big deal. And what's so sad, April 27, 2011, I didn't say it on the air once, not once, and shame on me for that. I can go back and look at that video, and I regret that. And I knew it, April 27, 2011, because of this child. This is Nathan Seals. Nathan lost his life in a horrible F5 tornado, April 8, 1998.
My grandfather's sister, her name was Kathy, had his shoes killed, and her husband, Harry Dean, was killed. They were in a trailer in Oak Grove, and they got flipped over.
They were. 34 people died that night, including those folks and Nathan. Nathan lived in Rock Creek. Tornado went through Oak Grove, Rock Creek, Sylvan Springs, McDonald Chapel, Pratt City, Edgewater. You've probably never been to these places. We should do a swap one day. I think everybody from those places should come over here and y'all come over there. They're on the western side, you're on the eastern side, both marvelous people. But Nathan was killed April 8th, 1998. The treating physician, trauma doc at UAB in this case, he said that Nathan would have been just fine if he had his baseball helmet on. He played baseball. He had 6 baseball helmets in their house. He would be fine. He would be alive today. And again, this was April 8th, 1998. I think this might be one of the hardest, for me, funerals. That's Nathan's casket. The dad has a broken back, Matthew. We've become very close. We go to lunch about every month. We have since 1998. He's encouraging me I appreciate Matthew's friendship. This is Christy, the mom. She's had a punctured lung and 2 broken legs. 2 siblings beat to a pulp, but they wanted to be there for that funeral of their son and brother. And again, if he would have had that baseball helmet on, he would be fine. All right, number 3, and I'll stop after this. I've talked way too long. The next one's on us. False alarms. It's ridiculous. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten really, really... and let me just say this. In 2011, the Weather Service in Birmingham, the false alarm ratio was 83%. 83% of tornado warnings were false alarms. That's ridiculous. We're better than that. At one point, we got it down to 28. It's back up to 31 now. I never thought it would be under 40 in my lifetime, but the Weather Service in Birmingham has got an FAR now of 31%. That's unbelievably good. Tornado warnings that come out of Birmingham mean something. But having said that, we got a problem now with things we can't control. Most people don't get their weather from real meteorologists. They get it from TikTok. They get it from YouTube. They get it from sources that spit out nonsense, and it's a problem. Hyperbole is out of control. It's totally out of control. You can get your phone right now. I can find you any TikTok, Instagram, YouTube account that will tell you a hurricane's going to hit Mobile next week. Will it hit Mobile next week? That's nonsense. It's a lie. Why do they do that? They do that to get engagement, so they get paid money from the creator content funds. And we fight this every single day. The winter is going to be the worst ever. This is going to be the coldest, snowiest winter Alabama's ever had. They're doing it to make money. We don't know what the weather's going to be like this winter. Seasonal outlooks, there's very little skill. There's some thoughts. But anyway, we're fighting the hyperbole. Even these traditional broadcasters, they'll call a code red weather emergency when there's light fog out here, thinking that's going to draw people back to old school television newscasts. No, it's driving them away. People are sick of it. But I want you to know that the Birmingham tornado warning FAR is down to 31, and it was as low as 28. And again, it goes back to the basic science. We have a much better understanding of things now that we didn't have in 2011. But yeah, this is the big thing. It's the fear. We have just got to stop that. So real quick, couple things, and then we'll do some questions, and I'll be done because it's a Saturday, and I've got to go throw out the first pitch of the Trash Pandas game. So let's see. Let me give you a test, all right? Alabama's tornado season begins in what month?
April.
Remember.
Who said that? We have a winner. Thank you, sir. This guy's good. I'll be working for this guy one day. Alabama's tornado season begins in November. Every time we have a tornado at Thanksgiving and Christmas, people say, we've never had tornadoes at this time of the year before. I could write a book on November, December tornadoes. I'm going to Huntsville in a few minutes. November 15th, 1989. November 15th, 1989. What month was that? November 15th, 1989. Tornado killed 24 people, wiped out the southern part of the city of Huntsville. November 15th. Tuscaloosa, December 16th, 2000. Tornado wiped out part of the southern part of the city of Tuscaloosa. I've worked so many Thanksgiving days and Christmas days away from my family. So listen, if we have a tornado at Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's the middle of the season here. November, when does it end? May. November through May. Now, today we'll have storms this afternoon. We cannot have a tornado by the laws of physics. The winds aloft are light. There's no dynamics. Yet people are going to see creepy clouds and call them tornadoes, but there's no tornadoes in the summer. The season here is November through May. In the summer, we don't have tornadoes. We have hurricanes. And that's now that we've got Mobile and Baldwin counties under our watch, that's a bigger priority for us, obviously, with what we do now. But we think this season should be kind of quiet based on the El Nino Southern Oscillation phase. We are in an El Nino phase. Traditionally, we don't have a lot of hurricanes in an El Nino phase. But still, all it takes is one, same kind of thing. But anyway, back to the tornado thing, and I'll stop. So what you're going to do, you're going to get a weather radio. You are going to get a weather radio from a fine Trussville merchant. Please, and they're not that hard to program. You can do that yourself. It's not that hard. And in your safe place, you're going to get a what for everybody? Yeah. I don't care if you're old like me. I don't care. Everybody has to have one. That will increase your chance of surviving by over 50%. And also in that safe place, we like for people to have hard-soled shoes, not the bad shoes I'm wearing today. This is bad. By the way, you like my socks? These are Alabama Weather Network socks in a Weather Network store. These are bad shoes. And by the way, notice that these shoes, they don't tie. Why do you think that is? I'm dyslexic. I've always had a hard time tying shoes. It's really strange. I have a hard time reading. I have a hard time tying shoes. Traffic roundabouts are a nightmare when you're dyslexic. but I was doing differential equations when I was in 10th grade. It's like, it's literally the genius idiot kind of thing. But we like the people that have hard-soled shoes. If you are injured, often you're going to walk through a tornado debris field and your feet can be shredded. We had people that had their feet amputated. April 27, 2011, they didn't even know that they were severely injuring their feet. And so hard-soled shoes, that's kind of a big deal. So again, helmets, hard-soled shoes for everybody. We like people with a portable air horn, so if you need to get first responders, they can hear that. All right, who's got a question? I'm done. I've talked way too long. This is 40 minutes. This is horrible. I should be kicked out and defrocked for... When I do children's messages, I've got 8 minutes. In Sundays, I've done 40. This is horrible. Yes, sir.
It's more of a comment than a question, but I think it interests you and the history-minded people here. I think it'll be a great day when we can take one of the decommissioned warning sirens and put it in our history museum.
I do too. It will be... It's history, and that for a long time, that's what we had. That was it. It was outdoor warning sirens. And it was used in World War I, World War II. When I was in first grade, it was to let us know the nuclear missiles were coming in. That was their purpose back in those days. And somehow weather got in the mix. But I totally agree. That will be an artifact that will need to be saved. But they won't be around much longer, thank goodness. Anybody else have any comments or questions?
What's your favorite, saying that you've said on air? I think there was one, about cowgirl on a flat rock, something like that.
Oh, gosh.
What's your favorite one?
My wife gets so mad at me. The Butler, you listen, next time you go to Gulf Shores, stop in Butler County, all right? You want to see why I say these weird things? Half of that stuff is rural Butler County stuff. The one where people freaked out, I think, the most was, people don't have map skills. Why do people not have map skills? And it's great. Listen, this is fine. I have no problem with that. It's just the way it is. You don't need a paper map. You don't need a map. You just have turn-by-turn directions. Like, take me to the nearest whatever. And it will give you turn-by-turn directions. You don't need a map. So people have lost their map skills. So instead of saying a tornado is 14 miles southwest of Clanton, nobody knows where that is. You have to call out known landmarks, like the tornadoes near Jim's Pit Barbecue. Everybody in Billingsley, Alabama, they know where that is. And so I call out Dollar Generals and barbecue joints and Walmarts and hospitals and barns. But that's where I got in trouble. So y'all have probably never been to Sayre, Dora, Sipsey, Empire, or Bagley. I bet you've never been there. But if you go up there, every human being knows where Wesley's is. And I just called it out on the air, not even thinking about it before. Ooh, I can't believe he said that. You're not from Walker County, man. It's like, come on. I mean, they know where that is. And so that was probably the strength. It is. You're right. No, it's on the county line. They built it across the line for various reasons. But yeah, you had the Sportsman, that little gas station over there, and then you had the Green Top Barbecue on the other side of the road, which is get burned. And really, the Sportsman's gone. And Wesley's is gone. The only thing left, you got the Lawler Baptist Church up there, which, but anyway, but yeah, I say some odd things, but that's just Butler County coming out. You stand in front of that wall for 15 hours, weird things start coming out of your mouth. It's just, you are who you are. All right, guys, thank y'all for letting me come. Y'all have a blessed day. Appreciate y'all. Oh, one more, I'm sorry. And then we're done.
You say that Trussville's not really in the tornadoes, but I've been here a long time, and I remember the 1974 when even my cousin's little MG had a tree fall in their yard.
Oh, yeah.
We were in the basement, and I was young, but I remember that. And then, of course, in 2011, we had tons of damage. But we're more Argo, almost Argo. It's Trussville now.
Yeah.
We seem to be in the alley every time it comes to Tuscaloosa.
But most people in Trussville think tornadoes don't happen here. They don't. And they just don't have memories of these things that have happened in the past. And it's just human nature. It's like if you don't have a fire at your house in 50 years, you don't think about it. And it's the same thing with tornadoes. But our greatest concerns, this is one of them. It's Trussville-Springville. We think if a tornado gets down in Roebuck and comes through Trussville-Springville, Based on social science studies, the loss of life could be severe because of the somewhat apathetic attitude, and that tornadoes don't happen here. And the same thing for South Shades Crest and Hoover and Mountain Brook. They have the same problem. There's two densely populated corridors where the social scientists say you got a real problem. And this is why I show this hard stuff. I don't like showing this hard. I don't like showing that. I really don't. But if it takes it, maybe you'll go tell a friend, and they'll understand that tornadoes do happen here, even if they live on the other side of that hill, or if their grandmama says that tornadoes never happen here. Yes, sir.
So I'm a city council.
Uh-oh, we have a government official here. But this guy's good. He knows, this guy's good. I can tell he's a weather dweeb.
So my question for you is, what should we be doing as a council with that? When you say weather stuff, I take it to heart. So when you saying that's one of your biggest fears. What could we be doing as a government?
Well, number one, our biggest challenge, people that live in mobile homes. Listen, it's wonderful, safe, affordable housing. I wish we had a trailer when I was in 5th grade, when my father left. We lived in a bathroom, basically. It would have been an amazing lifestyle for me. So it's wonderful, affordable housing, but it's a death trap during tornadoes. So, and it's hard on us. They need more lead time. Our average lead time is 12 minutes. They need, most cases, 30 minutes. So for the people in trailers, and I don't think you have a big population base here in trailers, probably, maybe none, I don't know.
Very small.
But they need a safe place to go. And even in a Trussville, a Mountain Brook, a Hoover, there needs to be at least one community shelter for people that are in inadequate housing for tornadoes. So I think there needs to be just one in every population center like this. And the other thing, if you're spending piles and piles of money on sirens, of course, that's probably a Jefferson County thing up here, but take that money and buy weather radios for people and give them away. And even in Trussville, you have some low-income families here. You know that. And for a lot of families, they cannot afford a $30 weather radio. And now they're actually $35 to $40. You can't afford that, and they need that in their hand. So just the two things would be, one, shelter for those that don't have adequate housing, and then somehow a way of getting weather radios in the hands of people that maybe they can't afford them. Most people in Trussville can, but some cannot. Those are the big things. And thanks for asking. I really appreciate that. Again, thanks for your support with our freestanding ED down here. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a county that has the most tornadoes? Is it Tuscaloosa County?
It's actually Madison, which is Huntsville. But those, the problem with those things, they're skewed by population. We've had so many tornadoes. Alabama's a rural state. If you ever fly helicopter, airplane, whatever, Alabama's a rural state. And when tornadoes cut across woods, nobody knows. It doesn't get any attention. And the bias is always toward the population centers, but Huntsville has more than Birmingham. If you look at statistics back to 1950, the Tennessee Valley's been rough up there. They've had some really rough, we have too, but Madison is and that's for the larger ones. Actually, what's weird, the number one county in the state is Mobile, but those are the tiny ones. Those are tropical tornadoes, and they're a different type genre, but Madison's the winner.
Seems like it gets really busy up there and it kind of dissipates by the time it gets to here.
Not always. And sometimes it's the reverse. It can be just the other way around. All right. Yes, sir.
So people say, well, mobile homes, if you get one of those anchors that you screw into the ground, that makes mobile home safe. Do you buy that?
No. And for maybe a wind gust of 45, 50, 60 miles per hour, yeah, the tie downs are important for that type of event, sure. But for a tornado, no. Again, my first major in college was electrical engineering. I'm not a mechanical engineer, but I know a lot of good ones, and they've studied this, and they'll tell you the same thing. Yes, ma'am.
Most of the elementary schools, what they require to have storm shelters in them.
The new ones.
The new ones.
Right.
Although we have several different, so I would think that they will not hold them all to our So we tend to send our children home.
Yeah, that's a really challenging situation because every system is different. The problem we have in parts of Alabama, you close the schools, they send the kids home to trailers. A death trap, where those school buildings are safe and they're in a trailer which is not safe. We would rather them be in that school building. And it's not the same here, obviously, in the quality housing is different, but it's different for every system. But we believe that every system at least leave one building open. Leave one building open where the kids can stay that have nowhere to go that's safe.
I don't think that community is aware that our school has, like, so if I don't know if the council would want to do that, but if they were aware that they only have a storage shelter, they might do it.
Yeah, every new school system has to have a big shelter. Like Concord, with Haley and Mikey Kreider, Concord basically is a tornado shelter, the whole school out there now. But yeah, that's one thought, is that you've got those schools, the newer schools have tornado shelters. But yeah, we got to give them a safe place to go. Yes, sir. We'll do one more and I'll stop. This has been way too long.
What's the speed of the winds of the tornado?
Anywhere from 80 to 250. The EF5s are very rare. Most tornadoes are EF0s and EF1s. That's your 80, 100 mile per hour winds. But the 4s and 5s do most of the death and destruction you see up here. Ours was a 3 when it came through our neighborhood. And you saw some of the damage from that 3. Every tornado is dangerous, but thank goodness 4s and 5s are relatively rare. So, but again, the good news, this is not, it starts in November, okay, we're good. We'll worry about hurricanes for the next few months. But thank you guys for coming. We've got cake for everybody, right, Gary?
That's right.
All right, so go back there and get some cake. This is good. It's cake time. We're done. It's a wrap.